All right, guys. This is Logan 4K Blu-ray movie. If you guys haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend you go and see it. It's definitely one of the best X-Men slash Wolverine movies, uh, and it's definitely one of the Hugh's best performances as Wolverine and Logan. Uh, I wouldn't be surprised if the movie gets nominated for an Oscar or something next year. But anyway, or if it gets the MTV award or something like that. I'm not going to tell you where this scene is. I'm trying to avoid spoilers like a plague because I want you guys to experience this movie, especially if you're a fan. So I'm really trying to do my best to avoid spoilers. So, okay, you see a desert, but that's about it. I'm not going to tell you why it's in the desert. What the hell's going on here? You're not going to know. I'm not going to tell you. This video is about calibration for LG 55-inch curved 3D OLED C6P, released last year, 2016 November. I'm sorry, 2016 September last year. So it's not that old of an OLED TV. It's definitely one of the better LG OLED TVs. Has a better white color gamut and everything. But I personally believe what I'm going to show you here, these are my own custom. Please keep in mind, these are my own custom picture settings. I'm not going to even use the word calibration because if I use the word calibration, politically correct, you guys will just put me on a, I don't know, you're going to hang me somewhere or whatever. What I like to use from now on, it's picture settings, my own custom Mr. 4K upscaler picture settings. And that's what I'm going to do here. Please keep in mind, these are my own custom settings and try them. I will walk you through it step by step, show you different scenes here while I'm upscaling. I mean, not while I'm upscaling, while I'm custom adjusting all of these settings. So let's start without any further ado. I just spent 2 minutes explaining this whole thing. All right. All you got to do first, obviously, click on the settings. Go to the HDR bright. I use HDR bright. That's my preference, my own personal preference. All right, so here's the deal. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why is the OLED light at 83 and why is the contrast at 83? Because I'm watching this movie in a dark room, and I believe the best way to experience a movie it's in a dark room, not with the lights on. So right now this might not make any sense to you because I'm running an HDR, but once you try these custom picture settings, I'm pretty sure you will agree why I did what I did. So just bear with me. Okay, OLED light, make sure you write this down or pause the video. OLED light, it's 83. Contrast, it's 83 as well. Brightness, honestly, I never mess with this. It's an OLED, you don't need to mess with this. Keep it at 50, always. Moving on to the sharpness, I felt that this movie could definitely use some sharpness to get that three-dimensional picture to pop, if you guys know what I mean. I want to see every detail, and Sharpness 22 will give you that detail. But there's another thing that I used on top of this Sharpness 22, which I will get to on my advanced control picture settings. All right, so 83 OLED light, contrast 83, brightness 50, sharpness 22, color 66. Yes, I know I always say the 60 is a threshold, but 66, it's that little extra flavor for this movie, for this particular movie. It's a little extra flavor that makes the color pop even more naturally. Trust me, the 66, it's not oversaturating anything. It's perfect. It is perfect. You will see it when you try it. Moving on to the tint. Tint, here's the trick here. Here's very important stuff. Don't ever mess with the tint. Leave that tint, leave that white balance, don't mess with it. That's really for highly skilled professionals. Don't mess with it. Color temperature, leave it at 0. Why at 0? Because you don't want that too much of the yellow of warm. You don't want too much of that blue cold. So you want to keep it in the balance in between, in the middle. So you get every and each temperature of a color equalized. Now, hopefully you guys are writing all of this down, okay? It's very important. Now let's move on to advanced controls. Dynamic contrast, you don't need this. You don't need this ever on HDR. Just forget about this when you're running HDR movie. If you're not running HDR movie, I guess you can use it. But if you're running an HDR movie like this one, for the love of God, do not use it. You're going to destroy all your bright white contrast. Do not do it. Your skies won't be as detailed as they are here if you use it. Just leave it off. Here's a trick. Dynamic color, I kept it at high. The reason I did that, because I already have my color at 66, and dynamic color at high truly resonates with the deep dark levels and the contrast and the color. And that's why I left it at high. Color gamut, you always leave this at wide. It's a 10-bit panel, wide color gamut. TV, leave this at wide. Super resolution, I left it at medium. You're going to ask, why did I leave the super resolution medium? Because I already have sharpness at 22. So I felt that this medium will even outline the detail of the movie even furthermore. Gamma, it's at medium. You don't mess with that. So there you have it. Now let me show you some stills. Hopefully you guys are writing this stuff down. It's very important that you write the stuff down. All right, so I'm going to show you some stills here. I'm going to use my remote control here, and I'm gonna do it like this. Basically, this 4K player has one of the best slow motions I have seen, honestly. Now look at the detail, especially right here on Logan. Look at that sky. The sky, it's as detailed as it can be here, man. The detail that I see here on this sky with this calibration, with this picture custom setting, it's truly phenomenal. Just look at the detail right here. Almost, honestly, I can almost get mistaken that this is a Dolby Vision. You could have easily fooled me. I tell you guys, when you try this custom settings that I used here, you will almost think that it's a Dolby Vision. But please understand, this only works if you have OLED, C6 OLED, or any OLED, any OLED LG lineup. Doesn't matter. This will work. But you gotta make sure you have an OLED TV. If you don't have an OLED TV, this will not work. Just look at all the detail on Hugh, his hair, the reflection on his hair from the sun. It just looks amazing, man. Here, let me give you from a different angle. Let me show you this movie from a different angle a little bit. Here, like from this angle as well, so you guys can see it. And look at there, right there. Look at the detail on the stones and everything. This camera I'm using, it's a GoPro 5 camera, and it's the same camera that I use for the comparison of the OLED and the KS8000. Okay, and there's no spoilers here, so don't worry about it, guys. I'm not spoiling anything. You know that there's a girl in the movie. You've seen the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything. Trust me. All right, so let's skip to another scene. a look at this shot right here. You guys gonna really enjoy this. I tell you what, if you have OLED TV and if you try these custom settings that I just did here, if you follow everything step by step exactly as I did in the beginning of this video, I guarantee you, I swear to you, you're gonna thank me later. You're gonna really enjoy this movie, and it's gonna be a much better experience for you watching this movie the way I have custom adjusted it here. But make sure you follow everything step by step, from the color temperature to all the filters I turned off, to OLED light, to contrast, all of that stuff you guys have to follow step by step. You cannot miss any single one of them. If you have to rewind and pause, that's fine, but make sure you follow everything step by step and write it down and implement it into your TV OLED and watch this movie, and you will definitely, you're going to have a great time watching this film. Let's move on to the next scene. Here's another great shot of Hugh Jackman. And just look at the detail. Obviously, this is all a makeup and everything, but just look at the detail. Look at that sand. Look how much detail you see right here. You wouldn't be able to see all of this detail if it wasn't for the OLED deep dark levels. And this is why I personally prefer to watch movies on OLED. Now, the games I like to play on a KS8000 because I have a much better response time. But I think over time, honestly, guys, I'm not an OLED lover. I'm just simply telling you, I think, personally, in my own opinion, I do have a right to opinion, I think, the last time I checked. I guess so. I personally believe, my belief is that OLED will catch up with the peak brightness. And once OLED reaches that peak brightness above 1000, it's pretty much game over, guys. Because they already have deep dark levels taken care of. And this TV, it's a wide color gamut already. Now imagine next OLED TV with a 12-bit, with 8K, 2000, or let's say let's say this. Okay, next OLED TV 2019, 12-bit, 8K, Dolby Vision, over 1000 peak brightness nits with 12-bit color, super wide color gamut. Pretty much it's game over, guys. That type of TV, when it comes out, that's it. That's gonna be your creme de la creme TV for the detail. Now let's move on to the next scene. Actually, let's do the slow motion just a little bit so you guys can see this a little bit. Just so I can show you. Look when he opens his eyes. That's really quick. And again, right here, this scene. There's another scene in when he's no spoilers, but some kind of hospital. It's nothing important. I want to show you that scene really quick, and I want you guys to see it, and then I'm gonna end the video because I really don't want to spoil this movie for you, so I'm trying to do my best. Let me show you that one scene really quick.
Nice to meet you too, Di. Oh, I really gotta get on my way.
No, don't do that. What you need is rest. You need to check yourself in somewhere else.
And another great example, it's right here. I had to move my camera. I put it on a tripod. Just look right here. Look at these deep dark levels and just look how the light overshadows the hair. The reason you see that is because of that OLED organic light that it's emitting, man. And the reason why the reason why I'm able to custom, I have to hate to use the word calibration. The reason I'm able to custom calibrate this even furthermore, it's because I have this range of deep dark levels that help me with the calibration. With the LED backlit or LED edge lit, I always had that problem. How much gamma should I move down? How much brightness should I move down? Here, I don't even have to mess with the brightness that much. It gives me a variety of ranges to make this look great. Now let me show you one more, and then that's that. And then make sure you guys write these custom picture settings that I put on there. And here's another example right here. This is as real as it would be, like in real life. You know, when there's a shadow, dark shadow on a certain environment in the room, this is exactly what you would see. Now, this is on my camera, it might seem like it's crushing it, but it's not. When you see this in person on your OLED TV, when you try these custom picture settings that I gave you, you will see that this looks as natural as it can be. Without any further ado, seriously, guys, let me show it to you one more time. Make sure you go ahead and write these custom settings. HDR bright user, OLED 83 light, contrast 83, brightness you never mess with that, 50, sharpness 22, color 66, tint and color temperature, it's very important that you leave those at 0. Okay, it means they're at the balance, middle balance, they're at the balance, leave it at 0. Now let's move to advanced control. Dynamic contrast, for the love of God, don't use this on the HDR. Dynamic color, keep it at high. Color gamut, always leave it at wide. And super resolution, keep it at medium. Well, there you have it, people. Hopefully you're going to take these calibrations down and you're going to write them down. And before you watch the movie, I urge you that you try these custom picture settings that I have given to you and put all this effort and time to do this for you. Remember, I'm doing this for you. I'm not doing this for me. I know how to make these custom picture settings for me to enjoy. I know how to set up my speakers to enjoy myself in a full theater experience. I'm doing this for you. I'm sharing this with you so that you guys can enjoy it as well. There you go, have it. Have a good night, good morning. Take care.